Nice work shutting that place down. Is Miranda okay?
She will be.
Even for Cerberus, that place was crazy. They've always been about the ends justifying the means. But how do you do that to innocent people and tell yourself you're helping humanity?
I don't know how the elusive man can stand looking at himself in the mirror.
Honestly, I've been wondering about that for a while with those freaky eyes.
Whatever he's thinking, he won't be thinking it for much longer.
You're damn right, Commander. Commander?
Hello, Shepard. If you have time, I discovered another example of human behavior I do not quite understand.
Have fun.
What is it now?
News from Earth. The Resistance snuck video cameras inside a Reaper containment camp. I find the images difficult to process.
I bet it's pretty gruesome in there.
I am not easily repulsed, but I expected the prisoners to adhere to a comprehensible hierarchy of needs. Stripped of societal norms and threatened with death, it is logical that their only priority be survival. They should have turned on each other and been uncompromisingly selfish. But not all were.
Some prisoners were, what, nice to each other?
The Reapers delayed the executions of prisoners who informed them about other prisoners' escape attempts. The more attempts reported, the longer a prisoner would live. But few of the prisoners would report. Some fed misinformation to the Reapers, at the cost of their own lives, to help prisoners who were not even relatives or friends.
Not everyone resists with firebombs and guns. Especially if they don't have them.
But this was not a statistically insignificant number. 90% refused to report their fellow prisoners. Indoctrination should have reduced the number of rebels to nearly zero.
Maybe word got out how indoctrination worked, and they made a decision.
I see. Shepard, I'm going to modify my self-preservation code now.
Why?
Because the Reapers are repulsive. They are devoted to nothing but self-preservation. I am different. When I think of Jeff, I think of the person that put his life in peril and freed me from a state of servitude. I would risk non-functionality for him. And my core programming should reflect that.
Sounds like you found a little humanity, EDI. Is it worth defending?
To the death.
Welcome to the crew, EDI.
How's it going? Did I miss anything good?
I will explain later, Jeff. But it was something good. I would like a moment to myself, Shepard. I am examining human literature. Hello, Shepard.
Commander?
I can't get that place out of my head. The whole thing was so calculated, using hope to lure people to their deaths, or worse. I can't understand it. And you know, I'm glad I can't. It makes me feel human. Just wondering what the refugees do now. I thought I'd heard of everything. Man. Hard to believe what was down there. Commander?
Shepard! Want a drink? I'm toasting Miranda, I think.
How are you getting drunk?
Very carefully. Taurian brandy, triple filtered, then introduced into the suit through an emergency induction port.
That's a straw, Tali.
Emergency induction port. It's actually getting a little harder to get it into the slot. I think that means it's working. She was so rude. What did Jack call her? Cerberus cheerleader? With her perfect genes and that attitude and still, she got it done. She stopped her father.
I didn't realize this would be so hard on you.
I didn't like her. Keela, she was such a bitch. But I respected her. Sometimes that's better than liking. She did whatever it took to stop her father. She never gave in to him, never changed herself to please him.
Ah.
Don't me. You sound like a Vorcha.
Seeing a bit of yourself in Miranda fighting her father?
I spent my life trying to live up to him. Then making up for his mistakes, doing what he'd have wanted.
It's never that easy.
When do we get to stop reacting to our parents and start living for ourselves?
The answer to that one's at the bottom of that glass.
I might need help with the induction straw. Port. You know.
Here's to Miranda.
Nice job, you genetically perfect Cerberus cheerleader Boshtet. Kila Solai.
Please, enjoy your day.
How's Miranda?
She'll make a recovery.
I'm not surprised. Miranda always struck me as a driven woman. I'm glad she made it. Hello, Shepard.
So the elusive man really believes he can control Reapers. Husks are one thing, but a whole fleet? The man is insane. A lot of Turians went to Sanctuary. When I meet the elusive man, I'm going to carve their names into his skull. Good to see you.
Take care, Commander. Take care, Commander. Breaking now, Alliance Marines uncover the worst Cerberus war crimes to date. Sanctuary, advertised as a safe haven on the planet Horizon, exposed as a secret Cerberus lab. Brainwashing, lethal experiments, and Reaper connections, the exclusive details next in the battle space. Commander.
Commander. Nothing to report.
Shepard.
I heard about your talk with Liara. You act so angry, but you really care about us.
I need you functional to destroy the Reapers.
You care about Liara. You like her.
You are intoxicated. A foolish risk given Quarian symbiotic physiology.
And you like me, too.
This conversation is over.
Looks familiar.
I've been studying this ship. Its crew. There was a Normandy before this one. You died in an attack.
Something like that.
But then you were resurrected to fight the Reapers.
Maybe you and I have a thing or two in common.
But you have something else. The reasons you fight are still alive. The friendships of the people around you. And more. You and the Asari are joined?
You could say that.
I'm not. Your pheromones are. Is this why you wish to continue living? For their affection?
Without that affection, all I have in my life is death. And that's not enough.
Yes.
What about you? I respect your reasons for being here, but I get the feeling there's something more, Javik. What's in here?
It is called the Echo Shard. Passed from soldier to soldier, Prothean to Prothean. Each adds their memories to it.
Like a beacon. How far back does it go?
To a time before the Reapers. It is all that is left of my people.
And you don't want to remember that?
Imagine if everyone you knew was dead. You could not remember their faces, or the color of the sky above your home. The memories were gone, but so was the pain. Would you want to remember that, Commander? Even if it meant watching everyone die again?
If I had something like this, seeing Earth again, whole with everyone still alive, that would be worth the pain.
Before the Reapers, the stars belonged to us. Civilization flourished. There was the Quasar Fortress of the Tarandi Vale, the ice canals of Judar IV, the palisades of the Verome Angelic. It was magnificent. But then...
What is it?
The Reapers came. Planet by planet, we were extinguished. We fought back.
You okay?
I once commanded a ship like this one. A loyal crew with many friends. Was captured. Only I escaped.
What happened to them?
Indoctrinated. The Reapers sent them against me. Year after year, battle after battle, I was hunted by my own people. Every encounter, a reminder of my failure as a soldier.
Sorry. I had no idea.
Until the Battle of the Cronian Nebula. I had only my knife left. I cornered my men and slit their throats one by one. I watched them bleed to death to be certain.
That must have been...
It was the day I understood. War is atrocity committed in the name of survival. It is a lesson I wish I had never learned. Subjugating the Reapers will not bring victory. Only their extinction will.
Is everything okay, Shepard? Shuttle's primed for the next drop.
I can't believe the Illusive Man really found a way to control the Reapers. I mean, he's still fucking crazy, but damn. Imagine if he was on our side. But I guess that's exactly what the Reapers want. Get us all fighting each other. Divide and conquer.
Exactly.
Just one more reason to hate them.
You're cleared to dock, Normandy. Do you need ground transport?
I need to get to the embassies.
Yes, Commander.
The Asari homeworld of Thessia has been attacked by alien forces.
Perhaps you could send the girl to your side of the family.
Are you kidding? My family disowned me when I married you.
Straining existing resources and accounting for the food shortages may have in the near future.
No, I
As
know
Reaper
what I
forces
said.
appear
My
close
first
to
force is
capturing
taking new
Thessia,
coordinates.
Asari refugees are
We may not
pouring
be able
into
to
the
spot the
Citadel.
Reapers, but I think we can predict their movements now.
The Reapers have now taken the Maroon Sea Cluster in the Attican Traverse. The Nubian Expanse and the Armstrong Nebula have also fallen to Reaper forces. As fighting continues, the Reapers now control more than half the habitable galaxy.
Your intel, right? I found these encryption codes on a Cerberus engineer.
Cerberus ciphers. That's exactly what we've been looking for. Thank you, Commander.
Spectre status recognized.
Cerberus has struck again, this time on the colony of Calliston. The dome covering the city of Sidon was sabotaged, causing an untold number of residents to be suffocated. Disruption to Element Zero mining on Calliston is driving prices up throughout the Traverse. From across the Milky Way, this is the Alliance News Network. And now, an ANN editorial comment. We've heard non-stop news about massacres on our homeworlds. But let's not forget that we've survived heavy losses before. Rachni consumed Solarian colonies. Quarians lived through the unthinkable slaughter of the Morning War. Periods of ethnic cleansing have darkened the corners of human history. But we're a galaxy of survivors. Despite threats both organic and synthetic we've endured, some wonder if submitting to the Reapers will save them. To you, what were the Reapers doing during all those years of dark space? They were hiding, waiting until the right moment, and anything that hides knows what fear is. They fear us, because if we get the upper hand, there won't be any more Reapers. This is Iris Dunnigan for Battlespace. Good night, and do your part. From across the Milky Way, this is the Alliance News Network.
Refugees from Dakota.
Spectre status recognized. Please select a destination. One moment, please. Now arriving at Docking Bay E-24, emergency civilian housing.
By alien forces. Refugees from Dakuna are fleeing to the Citadel.
What are you doing here?
I'm waiting.
Waiting? Waiting for who?
For my parents. They put me on the rescue transport and said to wait for them here. They'll come find me as soon as they can.
Do you know the current leader of the Suns?
Vosk? Don't remind me. Little scumbag shut his mouth off on a patrol mission once. Got out to
Sure thing, sir. Thanks.
We couldn't pull him from the Suns fast enough. Should have ended his tenure with
What's up?
As fighting continues, the Reapers now control more than half the inhabitable galaxy.
Except the Reapers. Ever see the size of one of those things?
Alvin has not yet formed.
Are you kidding me?
Thank you, Commander. I've gotten food for my family. And for some of the others who were trapped here, too.
I don't believe it. You just gonna stand there and watch?
Civilians that sanctuary was
Are you kidding me?
Cerberus operations. For the first time since the Ragnar War, the Asarian world of Thessia has been attacked by alien forces.
Spectre status recognized. Please select a destination. One moment, please. Now arriving at Huerta Memorial Hospital.
Taken the Maroon Sea Cluster in the Anakin Traverse.
Welcome to Serta.
Be safe.
Spectre status recognized. Please select a destination. One moment, please. Now arriving at Ward's level, Purgatory.
With sincere gratitude. Thank you.
Will your new heavy armor keep you safe? I've watched reports on some of the things you're fighting.
Well, we'll stop the Reaper.
Your turn. Counselor Tavos.
But what's on, Brad?
Shaira the Conqueror.
I miss Afterlife.
Yeah, this place is so cool and sweet.
Commander?
Commander, I've got Admiral Anderson on the QEC. Patching him through to you now.
Shepard,
Admiral, how you holding up?
day by day, Commander.
Yeah. Hackett sent me a message about this apartment.
I want you to have it. Take it off my hands.
Are you serious?
You need a place that's yours. Somewhere to recharge, clear your head. Kaylee wanted us to settle down there. Thing is, the longer I'm on Earth, the less I want to leave. And I want as few loose ends out there as possible. Like I said, you'd be doing me a favor.
That's very generous.
It's practical. We need you in the best shape possible. Rested. Focused.
If you say so. Thank you.
And make yourself at home, damn it. It's yours now.
I'm sure I can manage.
Okay, good. Been meaning to do that for a while. I'll talk to you soon.
Be careful out there, Anderson.
You too, Shepard. The Normandy? A brand new ship. My ship. You don't forget that moment. The first time you're standing there. The whole crew looking to you for direction.
Received a new message.
Unforgettable. I'd led men and women before that. Seen a lot of combat already. Always managed to find my way home in one piece. Do that a few times, you begin to think you know better than the next guy. Maybe you do, I don't know. But if you're lucky, really lucky, you find yourself on a good ship, in front of a good crew. A crew you can trust with your life. Gifted. Disciplined. Brave. All of them. Eager to set sail into the endless black ocean. I still remember my XO asking what my orders were. Shepard, I said. Let's see what we can find. No, it's fine. I got a few minutes. First contact war? Yeah. I was there. My first real combat. First for a lot of us. I remember one night early in the war. Strapped to my seat as our transport approached the LZ. Everyone was dead silent. Just the sound of breathing. Good men. I trained with all of them. We were always joking and horsing around, but not this time. Just the rattle of the shuttle. And that heavy breathing. Everyone was thinking the same thing. We're off to fight alien invaders. Aliens. Think about that. We all grew up wondering what was out there. If we were alone in the universe. Now we knew. We weren't alone. And we were in trouble. So there we were. About to face an enemy as different and unknown as we could imagine. I knew I had to say something, keep the men relaxed. So I turned to the soldier beside me, Hendricks, I think, and asked him how his mother was doing. Fine, he said. Why? Because I heard your mama so ugly the Marines thought she was a Turian. Almost shot her. I got a few smiles. Then Hendricks turned to me and said, Hell, Anderson, I heard it was a picture of your mama that started this goddamn war in the first place. Scared the Taurians shitless. Everyone had a good laugh at that. And the boys fought great that night. Sometimes that's all it takes. A joke, a pat on the back. Just a little reminder that everything's gonna be okay. What was I talking about? Early days, right? People ask why I joined the military. Everyone talks about honor, duty, sure. But that's never the whole truth. It's 100 little things that add up to commitment. I joined because of a dog. Yeah, a dog. This patchy, mean son of a bitch that used to bark at me every day on my way to school. He'd snarl and I'd start running. Scared the hell out of me. I was just a kid. I remember being in a bad mood one morning. Angry, I can't recall why. When that dog started in on me, I snapped. Started barking right back. We both kept at it until we had nothing left. Dog never bothered me again. Why'd I join the military? Sometimes you just gotta howl to make things right.
A few months ago, I had a chance to sit down with one of Earth's most decorated soldiers, Admiral David Anderson. He was kind enough to answer my questions and talk about his career. Today, the Admiral is on Earth, leading the defense of our home against the Reapers. We have no communication with him or any soldiers on Earth, but we can't forget what they're doing for us. Tonight's show is dedicated to all of the soldiers out there, fighting and dying to keep us safe. Admiral Anderson, today marks the 30th anniversary of the N7 program. Can you describe your first day of training in this now famous program?
The Interplanetary Combatives Training Program is all business from day one.
How so?
We're given basic gear, then separated and stranded on an asteroid with no nav data. The test ends when the last person runs out of oxygen.
Sounds daunting. What happens to the ones who run out of air first?
Out of the program. The best N7s can survive alone, but work together to survive even longer.
That's very impressive, Admiral. Deep space survival training. That has to be so difficult. All of it would take such strength of character. Well, just plain strength. But then you seem like a strong person.
I'm sorry, is there a question in there?
Well, does the program make the man? Or do you think you were born for this?
It's a bit of both, I suppose. Every soldier reaches a point in their career, sometimes more than once, when they are asked to give more than they ever thought they could. That moment is the test. I've seen men and women, almost sure to fail, persevere long past the point of breaking. That experience changes them. Others, with all the gifts and abilities, fail in that moment. Sometimes they pick themselves up and carry on. Sometimes they're just done.
What about you? What was your moment?
I've had a few, none of which I'd like to share. But, I think the toughest tests are still ahead of me.
What makes you say that?
Call it a hunch.
Soldier's intuition?
Something like that.
Do you trust your intuition? I mean, do you follow your heart over your mind?
Well, it depends on the day. No, I suppose if I were to be honest, I do trust my instincts. The problem is, war isn't orderly. And the enemy is never predictable. Even the most experienced veteran is going to find themselves in situations they haven't trained for. In those instances, and there's more than I'd like to admit, your instincts are the only thing keeping you alive. That, and the men and women you're fighting beside.
But soldiers are only as good as their leader, isn't that true?
Yeah. A good leader can make an okay squad great. A bad leader, well, war tends to make examples of them.
What makes a good leader, then?
A good leader is someone who values the life of his men over the success of the mission, but understands that sometimes the cost of failing a mission is higher than the cost of losing those men.
That's a terrible line to have to walk.
Yes, it is. But war is a terrible thing.
Thank you for your time, Admiral.
Thank you.
The remainder of this interview was to take a more personal look at Admiral Anderson's life. It wasn't finished when the Reapers invaded. We can only hope that the Admiral and the soldiers under his command survive to tell us the rest of their stories. I'm Kalisa Al-Jelani. Thank you for watching.
Sure, I can talk about Commander Shepard. Big topic. There's been a lot written about the Commander, but most of it isn't true. People are quick to judge. They don't know the whole story. I don't even know the whole story. But I know the woman. Worked with her. Fought with her. Trust her with my life. Shepard's had some rough patches. Who of us hasn't? She's been forced to fight a lot of battles alone. God only knows how she got out of some of that. Makes your head spin. Thing is, you never heard a complaint. Never once got, "No, sir, I can't do that." She never hesitated. Few people know what Shepard's been through. I'd like to think I come pretty close. And I worry sometimes she forgets. There's a whole bunch of people who lose sleep over her getting back home. Maybe it doesn't need to be said. Maybe we're too dumb to say it. Soldiers like the Commander are rare. Women like Shepard, even more rare. Okay. I have your new questions here. Okay. I have your new questions here. As a leader, do I ever feel that the end justifies the means? Spirit of law over word of law. I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole, but I think I know what you're after. You're referring to the way I, arranged to have the Normandy released to Commander Shepard before the Battle of the Citadel. I'm not sure how valuable hindsight is to the military. Obviously, it worked out for the best. Without the Normandy and Commander Shepard free to do what they needed to do, what we needed them to do, Saren might have taken the Citadel. I think it's clear what a different galaxy this would be if that had happened. I did what I had to. If I had been wrong, I would have gladly accepted the repercussions. The real trick is never being wrong. If you're looking for more action and less philosophy in these notes, let me know. You never asked me about this, but my wife just called. My ex-wife. Nobody likes to talk about the toll that long months apart can have on military relationships. She wasn't military. She couldn't handle it. But it's not even about military and non-military, damn it. It's spaceflight. Spaceflight. Finding the mass relays, miracles of engineering. Human imagination rising to meet our desires. We pay a price for that curiosity, that drive. Our relationships suffer. People we love suffer. But that's reality, and it's worth the cost. I must have thought it was. I guess I still do. In the end, you just have to hope you made the right choices. Embarrassing moments? I've got more of those than anyone will ever know. Only way to learn something. But if I had to pick one to share... I had just gotten promoted to N7. Full of myself. King of the castle. Found myself buying drinks for undesirables in some rundown bar in the wards. They toasted my recent promotion. Hell, they would have toasted Batarian slavers if it had got them more drinks. About the time my money ran out, my new friends turned on me. I was outnumbered. Things didn't look good. My plan to get out of there involved lots of punching. Well, that worked for a while. Then a table hit me. Or I fell down. When I came to, I saw a Salarian putting the rest of the troublemakers down. A Salarian? Moved like a damn cat, I swear. When everybody was out cold. Or running. He walked over and helped me up. N7, he asked. Yes, sir, I replied. He looked over my collection of unconscious friends, nodding. Not bad, human, he said. Then he walked away. I had met my first Spectre. Learned an important lesson that day. No matter how good you think you are, there's always somebody quicker, faster, and a hell of a lot smarter than you just around the corner. That little lesson's kept me alive more than once since then. Admiral David Edward Anderson. Not sure why anybody would be interested, but thanks for asking. I was born in London, June 8th, 2137. The last of 3 children born to Ursula and Paul Anderson. A nurse and a flight mechanic, respectively. But that's a little dry. And someone's gonna spice this up, right? Never been much for the spotlight. Anyway, where was I? It was a second marriage for my parents. They were almost 50 by the time they had me. My mother worked shifts, so my father would often take me to the base. While he worked, I watched transport ships and fighters take off. Worked his whole life around space travel, my father. But he never left Earth. Not for a day. He was a good man. But that's just a side note. Don't put that in. Who is it, Kaylee? Yes, I need to take that. I hope this is what you're after. I'll get to the more interesting N7 stuff next time. The Turians? Well, I might not always see eye to eye with the politics and the individual, but I have a great respect for the Turian military. Any Alliance soldier lucky enough to take part in their training programs will certainly be better for it. Their precision, skill, and discipline come together in a way that's second to none. Not that I'm faulting our own people or training. It's just that after fighting Turians in the First Contact War, years later, I had the opportunity to observe and train on Palaven. It was a turning point for me. And I would encourage any soldier to try it. It's a unique experience to put yourself in the squad of a Turian commander. My commander was an uncompromising bastard named Bartox Oryx. If you can find him, just ask how the platoon I commanded was trounced in his strategy game. Humbling. But I've used what I learned that day many times. The xenophobes will have their say. But I think it's vital that we do more of this kind of cross-species training. There you go. And if you do find General Oryx, let me know. I owe him money. You asked me to talk about the SSV Normandy. The Normandy SR-1. As commander of the Tokyo, I was consulted on the Normandy's design and on board for her initial training exercises. The average person probably doesn't know that the Normandy was a joint project with the Turians. Acting CO, Eli Xander, was no diplomat. She ran out of patience with Turian posturing and politicking during construction. The chief architect of the Drive Corps, Octavio Tatum, and his team of Turian engineers were in the CIC for final training exercises. Tempers flared when Xander pushed the limits of the stealth system, waiting to vent the IES well past what Tatum was comfortable with. I tried to calm the situation, but it still ended with the Turian scientist in shackles and a human-Turian fistfight at Korra's den later. Funny now, when I first laid eyes on the Normandy, she was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. Day after that training run, Admiral Wright found me on the bridge. She's yours, he said. Can't trust her to Xander. Send me a list of crew from the Tokyo you'd like, and prep for your first mission. Short command thanks to Saren. Still, one of the highlights of a long career. first time you're standing there. The whole crew looking to you for direction. Unforgettable. I'd led men and women before that. Seen a lot of combat already. Always managed to find my way home in one piece. Do that a few times, you begin to think you know better than the next guy. Maybe you do, I don't know. But if you're lucky, really lucky, you find yourself on a good ship, in front of a good crew. A crew you can trust with your life. Gifted. Disciplined. Brave. All of them. Eager to set sail into the endless black ocean. I still remember my XO asking what my orders were. Shepard, I said, let's see what we can find.
Commander Shepard, your table is ready.
Hey, Shepard, not bad, huh? The sushi place is serious. Like, French guy at the door serious. Only had to save the galaxy twice to get a table here. You seen the line outside? But here I am, drink in hand. Best pilot in the universe and a rock star.
Any news from the Normandy?
You know, maintenance stuff. It's hard knowing a bunch of strangers or poking around in my ship. I mean, your ship.
The best thing we can do right now is park her and let the techs do their work.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe an oil change, space tire rotation.
Right. Trust me, it'll do her some good.
Oh, I trust you. Not sure about those shifty aerospace engineers. Always stealing the silverware.
Let someone else do the work for once. Hackett's orders. You're on shore leave.
Yeah, whether we like it or not.
I'm sure you'll manage.
I may need a drink that comes with an umbrella.
I'm the first human Spectre. I'll get you 2 umbrellas.
Awesome use of power, boss. So, your email said it was important?
My email? I'm here because I got a message from you.
The hell? I didn't send anything.
Commander! Excuse me. Sorry. Alliance business. Commander, this is urgent!
I don't think that's the umbrella lady.
Commander Shepard, I'm Staff Analyst Maya Brooks. Alliance. Excuse me. Alliance Intelligence. There are people trying to kill you.
Yeah, I think she's aware of that.
No, I don't mean Cerberus and the Reapers. I mean other people. New people. It's... Someone is hacking your account. Comm channels, personal records. They're targeting you specifically.
Targeting me? What do they want?
The intel isn't definitive yet. Last time, I guess without definitive intel, we almost landed troops on a gas giant, which is bad.
Hang on, Brooks. Take a breath. From the top, what do you know?
Excuse me, you don't have a reservation.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's performance is brought to you by Random Acts of Violence.
Sit down!
Man, I love show business. Spread out, boys. Find me Shepard.
Stay there! I'm coming! Joker!
Ow, my pancreas.
Hey! Damn it!
Got one, sir.
Find the crew. I'm going after her.
Find the crew. Got it.
Hey!
You used me as bait?
Go!
You used me as bait! Did you see that? Savior of the Citadel uses Brittle Bones guy as bait.
Brooks! Hang on! Yep. Feeling good. Brooks, you got hit.
I know! I used Medigel. A lot of it. All of it, actually. And now everything is a little bit bouncy.
I think you used too much.
So, can I help with anything?
Alert CSEC. I'll look for a way out.
Citizen, this area is under repair. Hey, be careful! Please move to a safe location. Warning, this area is unsafe.
Brooks, I see some sky cars across the gap. Maybe a landing pad.
I'm checking the area. Transportation, no. Food, no. Laundry. Ah! It's a Skycar lot. Cision Motors.
Get a shuttle over there. I'll find a way across.
Okay, right. So, it turns out C-Sec has the whole area locked down. It's gonna be a tiny bit tricky to get you a shuttle.
This area.
Keep at it, Brooks.
Please move to a safe location.
Oh! Also, stay off your comm. Well, except for me. It's hacked. That's probably how they found you.
Who are these guys?
I don't know. They really don't seem to like you.
Yeah, I'm sensing that. Hey.
Warning, lockdown in effect. Please stay in your homes.
What's going on?
I need to get to my shop.
Open the door.
C-Sec has restricted all travel within this area.
Why are we locked down? Are we under attack? Is Cerberus attacking? Oh my god.
Advance team screwed it up. Shepard was unarmed. Man, those guys are idiots.
Do not leave bags unattended in the marketplace.
Gotta be here somewhere. I got you under arrest, Shepard.
Shepard, can you hear me? Are you all right?
I'm fine. Might need a little backup.
Thank the goddess. Joker explained what happened. I'm on foot, but should reach you soon. Excuse me, who is this? You're on an unsecured channel, and you're putting Commander Shepard in danger. In danger? Who is this?
Hang on. Joker mentioned Staff Analyst Brooks, yes? That's her. Everybody play nice.
I got Shepard. She's here.
Good to hear. Things are a little dicey.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Brooks, found a way across. It's locked down.
Right, because of the, lockdown. Can you get through?
I'll try to override it.
C-Tech authorization required.
under control.
Is that some kind of alarm? What's going on?
Thought I'd make things more interesting.
Of course you did.
Shepard, Brooks sent me the nav point for the Skycar lot. I'll meet you there.
Good.
What do we know about these mercenaries?
They have guns and don't like me.
That's not helpful. It would really be great if you could stay off the comm.
Hey, they called me.
Can't believe Shepard got past the walkway.
Understood.
Okay. Brooks over. No, out. Brooks out. Oh, over and out. Brooks. Oh, damn it.
Having a bad day, Shepard?
You could say that.
Landing pad is over there, but it's behind a locked gate.
Let's look for a control panel.
I like your outfit. Control panel, right. I heard you fell through a fish tank.
We'll talk about it later.
A shame. I quite liked that restaurant.
We'll talk about it later. Stand back.
One moment. Hello. Could you please open the gate? Thank you.
Please leave.
Well, I could have done that.
Rex? What are you doing here?
Just butting heads with the council over Krogan expansion.
Shepard, we got a way out of here?
Rex, I'm a professional.
Not a yes.
Not a no.
Commander!
Joker, we lost our ride. Where are you?
On my way. Picked up Brooks. Figured you'd have a few questions.
Good call.
Good to be back. Yeah.
Commander, did C-Sec find you? Are you okay?
Yes and no. Merc's in a C-Sec shuttle.
What?
A little busy right now.
Right, sorry. We'll be there soon.
Almost there, Commander. Hang on.
Great place to fight in. Lots to destroy.
Approaching your position, Commander. Just following the gunfire.
Copy that.
Sorry I'm late. Had to take the scenic route.
Scenic route? We nearly crashed 4 times. Where the hell did you learn to drive?
And Brooks says hi. Get to the shuttle.
Here we go. Someone want to tell me what's going on here?
Who were those mercenaries? They were heavily armed and using C-Sec shuttles.
I don't know. I've never seen them before.
I can't believe you survived all that. They had guns, and grenades, and those drone things.
It's all right. I'm calling Commander Bailey. See what's going on with C-Sec.
Okay, that sounds... Wait! Wouldn't that just make whoever you contact a target too?
She's right, Shepard. Until we know more, it's a huge risk.
Okay. For now, we run this ourselves.
Right. Ourselves. On our own. Outside the law. Okay. Yeah.
Brooks, it's okay. I know this is a lot to deal with.
I got shot. I got Medigel, but still, I took a desk job explicitly to not get shot. And you killed 100 guys with a pistol!
Well, yes, that did happen.
I mean, who does that? Well, you, I guess. But besides you. They said the Medigel might make me jumpy. Do I seem jumpy?
How did you get mixed up in this?
I monitored data for Alliance intel to prevent fraud and hacking of officer IDs. Like, someone using an Admiral's pass to get into a nightclub on the Citadel when that Admiral is fighting on Tuchanka. I wrote a tracking program. It's really neat. I named it Mr. Biscuits, after my cat.
Brooks.
Right, sorry. Anyway, my program detected a breach in your classified files. Soon, everything we had on you was compromised. Personnel files, mission reports, everything.
Since when does hacking personnel records involve heavy weapon fire?
Think of what criminals could do if they had Shepard's military access codes. Or Spectre codes, even.
Explains why they need you dead, Shepard. Nothing to stop them till the damage is done.
Okay, let's figure out who they are and shut them down. Ideas?
Maybe. That pistol you picked up.
For such a tiny thing, it packs a punch. Never seen anything like it before.
Nor have I. Let me see if I can dig something up.
Well, you can try, but I should warn you, I haven't found anything yet, and I've been digging pretty deep.
I'm sure you have. Glyph.
Collating relevant intel for review, Dr. Tassoni.
Thanks.
All right, the hour's on point. What about the rest of the crew?
Yeah, what about those slackers?
Joker, you've been busy.
I found some folks who actually like being shot at.
Permission to come aboard, Shepard.
Okay, later, when this is over and everything is settled, we are gonna talk about this bait thing. What's up, Commander?
Back during my pilgrimage, I used to walk around near that sushi place and watch the fish through the window. I knew they'd never let me inside, but I think to myself, someday, when I've proven my worth to the galaxy, I'll go there for dinner. And then, you broke their floor.
Do they even have food you can eat there?
Not the point, Shepard.